So now, as we were discussing about the DNA and RNA by being the genetic material, so DNA can code for proteins. This you know. RNA can also code for proteins. But there is a difference between these two. RNA can code for proteins independently. It doesn't require anything or it doesn't require DNA. Clear? RNA can code for proteins, but DNA depends on RNA in order to make proteins. No doubt DNA can make proteins, but when RNA will be there. Am I clear? RNA can make proteins individually, independently. But this DNA, it depends upon the RNA in order to make proteins. But still in most of the organisms now, as I can say, the DNA is the genetic material as it is stable. It can store the genetic information stably for a long period of time. Clear? RNA is useful for the transmission of information, but in order to keep the information stably, the DNA is more useful. Clear? So in most of the organisms, the DNA is the genetic material as it is having stability. But if I'll talk about the primitive organisms, in the primitive organisms, the RNA was the genetic material. Clear? The RNA in the primitive time, I am saying not now, the RNA was acting as the genetic material, plus the RNA can be used as a catalyst also. I told you earlier also the RNA is reactive. Okay, so basically it can be used as a catalyst. Till now in our body we are having some RNA that can work as an enzyme, and that type of RNA is known as ribozyme. So in the primitive forms the RNA was the genetic material, but as you can see it can be used as a catalyst also. It means it is reactive. It is not that much stable, and it was a necessary condition for the genetic material to be highly stable. So that's why what happened in the era of time, the RNA evolved into DNA. Evolution takes place in the RNA and it changes to DNA, as DNA is the more stable, complex as compared to the RNA. Am I clear? In the primitive form, RNA was the genetic material. RNA was able to do everything that is required to maintain the life process. But there was one problem, it was reactive. It can be used as a catalyst, and that is not required for a genetic material because genetic material must be stable. So the RNA evolved into DNA by the passage of time. Clear? And today we can see the DNA is the genetic material in mostly organisms, and RNA is present only in a few virus like bacteriophages, tobacco mosaic virus. So now let us talk about the DNA. As DNA is the genetic material, so now we have to focus on the DNA. So now we shall study three things: replication, translation, transcription. In replication, firstly we shall study how DNA can make DNA. As you know, in our body the cell division is going on. So there is a need for the replication. So firstly we shall study the replication, how DNA can make DNA. Clear? The rest processes, transcription, translation, we shall discuss in later on classes, and we shall discuss what are these. Let us talk about the replication. That is, DNA can replicate. From the DNA we can have a copy of DNA. And if you do remember from class 11th, you have done the DNA replication takes place in the S phase of cell cycle. Right? Now, DNA replication is semi-conservative. Now here comes the question, what is the meaning of this statement? Basically, as you know, the Watson and Crick, they gave the double helix model of the DNA. Watson and Crick, they gave double helix model of DNA. That is, your DNA is having two helix, not one. They gave this model. Along with that model, they said that the DNA can replicate, or in short I can say the DNA can make a copy of itself, and this DNA replication is semi-conservative. Now what is the meaning of this? Basically, suppose I am having the parent DNA. This is the parent DNA. Now what will happen? It has to divide. The DNA has to replicate. So now what will happen? The DNA will open up. Both the strands will open up. Two strands were there. Now in order to replicate, firstly what will happen? Both the parental DNA strands, they will open up like this. With the help of different enzymes, that enzymes we have to discuss in detail in the process. Right now I am just telling you what is the meaning of this term. Clear? So firstly what will happen? We are having the DNA. In order to replicate, both these strands will get separate. Now the new strands will get synthesized. As in the DNA is getting copied. There is copying of DNA. So from one DNA we shall got 2 DNA. Here we will get 2 DNA, right? So what will happen? This is the parental DNA strand and this is the parental DNA strand. So the new strand will get synthesized. This is the parental strand. Now the new strand will get synthesized. Here also. So like this I can say, here you can see the parental strand was there, but in the new DNA formed. This is the new DNA. Let me erase it from the previous one. The new has been formed. If you see the new DNA, this new DNA is having 50% copy of the parental DNA, that black line, and 50% copy of the new DNA synthesized, the red line. So this is semi-conservative model of DNA, that during the DNA replication, 50% DNA, or basically I can say the one helix. One helix is from the parent and the second helix will be synthesized. Here also one helix is from the parent and second is being synthesized. This is semi-conservative model. Semi means half. The parental DNA is half conserved. Here you can see 2 are there. It means 4 strands. Out of the 4 strands, 2 are of the parent and 2 are newly synthesized. So this is semi-conservative model. Clear?